Hello everyone. So in this lecture we are going to learn about the functional interface and functions in Java. Java 8. So to create a functional interface in Java 8, basically it is a SAM that stands for single abstract method, and then we have to annotate that interface with @functional interface. We have already created a functional interface which is annotated with the functional interface and having a single abstract method named as a addition, which takes the two parameter of integer. So in relevance to add it, to apply that, what we have to do is we have to create a functional interface object, that demo object, that whatever the functional interface we are using, we have to create a object of its. Now since it is accepting the two numbers, integer numbers, we have to pass the two numbers. So for example, let's say those are a and b, and then we have to write the method body, which is going to be executed. In our case, let's suppose we are doing the addition, so simply I will say return a plus b, a plus b. Now let's make it as a static so that I can use it anywhere in a class. Now to apply this, simply write s out demo dot add. Now pass the two numbers which you wanted to add. So for example, I am passing 4 and 7. So if I execute this now, then I will be getting the output as a 11. Now if I remove the return type, then you can see that it is giving me the error, since the this method is returning a integer value, so we have to return an integer value. Now let's change of functionality a bit, and let's write it as a greater than b. So now in this case it is returning a, so if you want you can write it as a greater than b, and then we'll write a question mark. If a is greater than b, then return b, or else return, if a is greater than b, then return a, or else return b. So it is nothing but to find the maximum of the number. So if I execute this now, then also I am getting the 7, because 7 is greater. Now since we are doing with a less than, in this case we will get a 4. Now by default in Java we have a predicate, which is a functional interface. So if I show you the implementation of this is a functional interface having a single abstract method called as a test. These are the default methods, which is and negate, uh, and or, basically or equal to. All these methods are simply like the operators that we use. This and is nothing but the and operator that we used in a condition. You can see this test is getting called, and then on the other we are again calling the test method. So test is basically the method, abstract method. In here we have addition, as we are writing the method body over here, the same way we write it over here. So let's suppose, for example, now I am writing string value, like I am passing a string value, and we are saying that, okay, instead of string, let's say integer, just to get the even number is equal to, since it accepts the single value, so I'll say number, and it is going to return number mod of 2. Okay, so since it is going to return it, we have to write it as a return, and then closing the brackets. Now if you see here, then this even, simply instead of this you can write no need of return, then here remove this. It is mod of 2, and then we have to compare it with 0 0. So now you can see that if it is a number, then now let's print s out even number dot. Now you will get the test, because in predicate we have the test. Okay, so let's suppose if I am testing for 6, so 6 is the even number, so that's why we should get true. So that's why we are getting a true value over here. Okay, so this is about the functional interface. Now what is the use of this is, instead of creating an anonymous inner classes, we can go for the lambda functional interfaces by creating the object and providing the method syntax over here. We can use them as a variable. Now let's talk about the functions. Let us create a static function. Here, as you can see, it takes the two parameters. One is t and other one is r, where t is basically nothing but a input type, the argument type which I are going to pass. So let's say I'm passing a string, and let's say I wanted to get the length of a string, so I'm returning a find length is the method name that we are going to pass. And since it is taking a single parameter, so we'll say string, and as it is returning an integer value, we'll say return string, sorry, return, inside the curly brackets we will write string dot length, close it and close it. Now to find to apply this, we have to call s out length of string is find length dot apply. We have to apply that method on, let's say, the nght. So since length of a string is 6, so we should get output as a 6. So you can say length of a string is 6. So that's it for this video. In the next video we are going to deep in detail about the functions, predicates, in detail about the predicates, and the real-time scenarios of a functional interface. Thank you. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.